Michael Steele is former chair of the Republican National Committee. He joins us as well this morning. Sir, good to have you with us.
It's good to be with you, Erica.
We heard those comments. Bill just went through them for us. The president saying he's happy to have the debate. Is he essentially framing the debate now on health care and even on the budget? And is that a debate that the GOP wants to have?
Well, I think a little less bravado and a little bit more leadership by the president on this issue would go a long way. I think his speech the other day was more partisan than it needed to be, particularly with the Republican leadership that he invited to be there. And I think this rhetoric that we picked up last night is consistent with what we've seen so far, is that there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of excitement, but the nuts and bolts is what we really need to focus on. And my hope is that both sides will come to some accommodation with respect to the rhetoric and really focus, as the American people want them to, on the nuts and bolts here, which is creating the jobs, getting the economy settled. And I think the president is right. The social issues will have their particular and appropriate context in this debate, but you can't lose sight of the fact that particularly this administration has spent an unseemly amount of money that's got to get accounted for in the budget.
Well, when it comes to the budget, the Tea Party really seemed to get the debate that it wanted on the 2011 budget. As you look at the Republican Party heading into 2012, is the Tea Party the dominant voice here?
I think it's one of many voices, and yes, it is a dominant voice, but I think it's a voice that it cuts across the lines. It's not just one that you hear on the Republican side, but also among Democrats, blue dog Democrats, conservative Democrats, moderate Democrats, independents. All have the same concerns about the level of spending, the role of government, and the impact it will have on our economy, our health care, and so forth. So I think those voices are going to be a central part of the dynamic going into 2012, just as they were in 2009 in the election of Chris Christie and Bob McDonnell, as that we saw in 2010. We'll see the same thing in 2012.
So you'll hear a lot, but not the only voice. I want to get your take on Donald Trump, because he's been attracting so much attention in the headlines. And then just this morning, USA Today reporting, he's basically saying he's troubled by the president's high standing among African Americans, telling a talk radio station out of Albany, quote, "I have a great relationship with the blacks. I've always had a great relationship with the blacks," suggesting that perhaps the president could hurt his own standing. What do you make of those comments?
Well, I don't know what to make of it. It's Donald Trump, he sort of brings a level of conversation that I don't think we're all used to yet in politics. He's unscripted in so many ways, and that can be good and that can be refreshing, but it also can be troublesome when you're trying to understand exactly what it is you mean when you say the blacks and when you talk about your relationship with the blacks. I think that it's important to note that, if you want to be president of the United States, you've got to have a conversation with every American. You've got to have a conversation with people in the communities where you find them, and not worry so much about someone else's relationship. And if you've got a good one, build on that, lay out your message, lay out your mission, and let the voters decide in about a year.
Real quickly, only a name. Anybody doing a good job of laying that out for you?
Not yet.
Okay.
We're waiting to see. The cream is going to rise to the top here in this primary process.
Well, we'll keep watching and we'll keep asking you. If something comes to mind, let us know. Michael Steele, good to have you.
It.
Thanks.